Welcome in to Marvel Friends After Work, a podcast that talks about everything and anything related to the MCU. I'm your time slipper, and today my fellow hosts, Nickter Timely and Loki Season 2. And if you didn't catch that, it's probably because you're not watching us either live, our brand new YouTube channel that you should go subscribe to, or you're not watching us while listening to us on Spotify, which you should check it out. So today, guys, we're going to mostly be talking about the brand new trailer that dropped for Loki Season 2. I thought it would never get here, honestly. So when the show comes closer, I'd like to do more of a deep dive into the Easter eggs that we could possibly find in this trailer. But for today, I just want to talk about our general feelings for it, our initial thoughts. So I'm going to start the way I like to start. Give me your first word that popped in your head when you saw this trailer. Nick, you're like, dang it.
I'm never ready for this. So Joel, lead us off.
Joel, go for it.
Stoked.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Stoked. Do I need to expand upon it or?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, just the trailer in general looks fucking fantastic. We got a bunch of returning characters. Hopefully, we're gonna actually touch on what happened at the end of season 1 and finally figure out what happened there, and maybe it'll tie everything into the expanded MCU and make things make a little more sense. And they randomly had a key lime pie in there, so representation for us Keys folks in there. That's why
I didn't even think about that.
Tourist floral get up right now.
How confirmed is it that it's key lime pie? Because to me, it did not look too green. It looked more like a raspberry pie.
Now wait a minute. You're colorblind. It was green as like your grass, man. It was green.
Was it really green? And your key lime pie shouldn't be that color.
Well,
yes, there's a lime on top of the whipped cream.
I can't see it.
You can't see, but I wrote down strawberry pie.
Oh. Because
it was green, like St. Patrick's Day.
What strawberry isn't green, guys? I've never eaten a.
Who eats strawberry pie?
I don't know. It sounds delicious, though.
I only had it once. It was actually really good.
Sounds great. Are you kidding me? Key lime pie is delicious, though. That is for sure. And that looked like a fantastic piece of pie.
It looked really good.
Give
me your word, Nick.
I don't know. I don't really have one. I mean, I would just say, like, my word right now is just Jonathan Majors. That's my word. Victor Timely. We see him. He is going to be a part of this. He is going to be a part of this show, because as much as we were like assured that he was going to be, and of course he will be, what they already showed the trailer, he was already in it, and a lot of stuff has happened and a lot of stuff is still in limbo. And I think seeing this is proving that Disney is ready to move forward with Jonathan Majors from this trailer, just from this one trailer. So I'm very excited to see that. Let's get some more Kang in any and every project that comes about from Marvel. And it starts with Loki. And hopefully we get a little bit Kang something in the background or something in the Marvels. Like let's start seeing him drop a face in, not just Kang, but a variant somewhere in the background, something in every single project moving forward till we get to Secret Wars. Like I cannot wait for that. So that's I guess that's what I got.
Give me all the variants. Give me all Kang's variants.
Give me all the
I want them all.
I want them to drop Kang in like they did the Infinity Stones, where at first we didn't realize there was any like point to it, but like going back, you're seeing how the stones were always there and stuff like that. That's would be cool. That's how they should be dropping the multiverse and Kang into it. They've been a little too bold, I think, sometimes, and like pushing it. I think they should just be dropping it in. After I finished watching, I was like, that's sick. I was really excited for it. Honestly, I'm like, I really like Secret Invasion. A lot of people didn't. I really liked it. I didn't think it was disappointment, but seeing the Loki trailer was like, yes, I'm really excited for Marvel right now. So I'm really
wait. So are you saying that your words for this is that sick?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to confirm what the verbiage was for how you're describing this trailer.
Yours was Victor Timely, right?
Yeah. Hey, calm down. Yeah.
So how'd you get the start of the trailer? It looks like we're in almost like the basement of the TVA, and we get to see OB. Is that the new character? He wasn't in the first one, right? This is a new character, right?
New character. Ki Hui Kwan. He also goes by Jonathan Kwan, so I think we could just call him J Kwan.
Like in the movie, or like in like life? Like as the actor?
We're referring to OB as the actor. I think we just call him Jaquan.
That's a great
you know,
nickname.
He's,
Right there.
he's short round. Do you remember Jaquan? They
Yeah.
sang that song "Tipsy."
I know
Everybody in the club getting tips.
Tipsy. Yeah.
He looked familiar to me, but I couldn't place him. But they kind of all look similar.
He does look familiar. I
Short
don't know.
round from
Wait,
Indiana
what?
Jones,
Oh, that's
Temple
right.
of Doom,
Mhm.
and the Goonies.
Right.
He's probably in something else, but that's the only two I remembered him from. Oh, and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That's it.
But
That's
that's
it.
like a newer movie.
I never watched the movie, but I've seen so many clips and trailers for it. That's probably where I must be remembering him from.
I don't know what that is.
Watch that one. That one, and you probably haven't seen Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, or the Goonies, so you should probably just watch all of those.
Yeah.
This
I agree
list
with
is
the
getting
first two
forever
lists.
long. I'm gonna start a podcast up, and it's gonna be called The List. And I'm just
Turn
gonna
on
get
your
all-
TV every once in a while.
That's a good idea, actually, for a podcast. I would listen to every movie you haven't watched that is on the list. Like,
Yes,
how many people? have
This
told
is
you
a
that.
good podcast idea.
Wait, stick to our podcast. Hold on. Don't
This
leave
is
us
number
yet.
one, guys. This is
Oh,
number
yeah, okay.
one.
All right, cool. He seems hilarious too. Can you do this? Yes. Or is this what it is? Yes. Can you do it?
Have you
No.
seen this?
Yeah. What?
Can you
Can you fix it?
No.
No.
I saw that
But we just
coming
saw it
from a
happen.
mile away,
Yeah, for sure. Definitely leading up to it.
and I still
liked
loved it.
Yeah, exactly. I loved it.
So they were in like the repairs and advancement, I guess, is in the basement of the TVA. So he fixes stuff.
It's a new floor. We haven't gotten to see this floor yet, and I guess it's
No.
not nightmares. So yeah.
And then we see him stretch out like a symbiote. It looks like when he.
Oh yeah, he does that crazy. The
Time slipping.
Time slipping.
Time
I always point the wrong direction. The time slipping.
Time
Yeah.
slipper. See, Loki's a time slipper because he's time slipping. It's my logic.
Slipping.
Loki goes into the line. Loki goes into the line. He goes, I've been pulled through time past, like through the past of the present. So I guess that's the definition of time slipping and pulled through time. Not really just moving. It sounds like he's going to a different time frame, or just like, do you think he's going to an alternate world, or do you think he's like staying in his own timeline, just going back and forth?
This is the same question I was going to ask. Yeah, is he in a loop?
Great mind.
Has this already happened, or because they broke the multiverse by killing Kang or killing He Who Remains, have they now made all these divergent splits, and he's going in between all of those? I still think that everything has happened already. The predeterminism thing, I think everything has already happened. They're going to go back. They're going to fix the TVA. They're going to end up putting him back in place as He Who Remains as like a punishment. And that's going to, everything just happened for a reason, goes back the same way.
Not in Loki season 2, are you?
Not in Loki season 2.
Not in
No,
Loki
I'm just
season
saying
2.
like
Right,
they're
right,
going to go
right,
back
right.
and try and figure out what they need to do, and then eventually catch up and consult the rest of the Avengers.
That's the
and
way
probably,
Secret Wars is going to end.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've heard
Yeah,
it
that
from
would make
us here,
sense.
folks.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to, we called it.
And they all come together and decide, you know what
Drop.
should happen is they should put Kang as He Who Remains back in charge, but like as a punishment. And he has to sit there and watch all of time lead into him losing over and over and over again. Right? I think it'd be great.
It would be
Very
great.
poetic.
That's what, I feel like we have a ton of great ideas on this show. I do think that he's time slipping to different timelines, not just the ones that he's been in. Though we saw him go back and even say, like, I think it was like hello or whatever to himself in the TVA, and I want to go back and see, do we see that in like season 1? Do we see him just randomly look to the right at all, like for no reason?
Well, here's the question.
Probably
And
not.
then this is what it is.
There's only one TVA, right? Like there's one TVA. There's not a bunch of them. Like there's a
One
bunch of
TVA.
Earths and there's a bunch of Avengers. There's only one TVA. So that would mean he has to be.
Yeah, he's
'Cause
in
it couldn't
that
be-
TVA, right? Unless
It would have to. I
there's
mean, it's still
multiple
him. It
TVA.
couldn't have been like an
Yeah.
altered dimension of him because there's only one TVA place, right?
Yeah, but there's multiple floors of the TVA. So those could be the different timelines.
My mind is time slipping.
Is it blowing? Well, here's something to add into that then. The other thing that could be with the time slipping is that there is these multiple dimensions, multiple timelines, and that they're all kind of the same thing. But they could use that to basically go back and retcon and pull the mutants out of that. Like if they go back and splice things together and now there's mutants, or Kang goes back in time and causes something that creates mutants back in our past, and now we've got mutants retroactively. Yeah.
I love that for like a comic idea. I don't know if Marvel MCU would actually try to adapt that because it's just too much going on. Yeah. But for like the comic idea, that sounds glorious.
But, so that's more like the Back to the Future idea, where you can actually go back to your own past and change things in the future. Which so far, it's been more of a time loop where everything was predetermined. TVA said, no, they were supposed to do that.
But and we know the TVA is going to be affected majorly in Deadpool, while he goes through multiverses and I mean, rumored, but it seems like that's what's about to happen in that movie. So there's a lot to happen throughout the TVA, Miss Minutes, and all of this stuff throughout this.
I'm so glad you said Miss Minutes. I wanted to point out, I think it's going to be totally ridiculous. I'm sorry, it's like cartoon, but it's alive with the people. I think it's going to be like a whole MODOK thing for majority of the people watching. It's going to be like, what is this? I don't know.
She looks like a giant Snapchat.
Yeah, but
Snapchat
angry
ghost. An angry Snapchat ghost.
An angry Snapchat ghost. Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
She's way more, well, I don't know. She's pretty terrifying.
You know why she's mad?
Popped up and went, hey, y'all.
I'm all about
this would be scarier.
Oh, she didn't. I was going to say, you know how she always appeared on a little TV or something, but she didn't. Now that I think of it, she did pop out.
Around the desk.
Because there's a scene toward the end of the trailer where like a TV, I don't know, like a certain size TV like fell down when they were all standing in a room. I'm like, that's probably why she's mad, because they dropped her house.
No,
that's her little birdhouse.
Well, it might be a house.
She can walk around, I think. It is interesting to see her like scaring off all the people in this big gigantic. I love her. I'm all about her, and I want her to be like a big part of this and a big part of Deadpool. It's super interesting. It doesn't make
any sense. Like I can't.
Marvel comics aren't supposed to make sense, right? It's supposed to get you to like.
But how is like the cartoon animation just supposed to be like floating around with other people, like in a worldly sense? The TVA, I could maybe get it because it's different there.
How is there a dude that's just a face that got sucked into the?
He's shrunken down to a tiny molecule. I can buy it.
Okay.
It's like, all right, how about Ghostbusters then? Ghostbusters, they have like the ooze with the evil electricity,
right?
And that can form these figures, these protoplasms.
Right. There's this.
You probably haven't seen Ghostbusters either, have you?
You put it on the list. Let's add it to the podcast.
I can't even reference things that are like common knowledge because
I know of the Ghostbusters.
You know of it, but
who are you gonna call?
About the
Ghostbusters.
The
Ghostbusters. We're a couple months away from listening to that music.
Ectoplasm.
You can't think too much into it. You just got like Miss Minutes is what it is, right? Like she just is what it is, and she's an animation character that is alive in the real world, and that's just like you need to wrap your head around a raccoon that can blast people to death. Like at first, it's like, oh, I mean,
I believe that.
I good for you. I just feel like anything and everything in the MCU is. Needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Like it is what it is. It's just Miss Minutes.
So I just throw the science and the physics out, and it's believable.
Yeah, I think we're at that point.
Already does that. So
I think after Iron Man,
hammer that no one can lift unless they're the one. And I mean, this
Captain America froze himself and then
Rainbow
like
Bridge.
defrozen 100 years later, and is like, yeah. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think like Miss Minutes should be enjoyed for what she is, and I think she's an awesome character in season 1, and I think she's gonna be really cool in season 2. I really do.
I think she's gonna be fun.
I'm excited.
I think
she's on
my
fantasy league,
steal
so
the show, though.
I'm all for her.
She kills a bunch of people. Then
I have Mobius on my team too, so I'm feeling.
Who's winning our fantasy league?
I don't know.
Not me at the moment because I still don't have my Hail Mary. If they wouldn't just say Queen Varanki, then I would have gotten 10 points. No. But that's fine. One of my people died.
Man, I had Adam Warlock on my team, so
he's still alive. Oh, he killed some people though.
He killed some people.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But he was nice.
Yeah, I agree.
He's big dumb baby. Big
I
dumb
just
baby,
watched.
man.
I just rewatched that movie and it was fantastic and it was amazing. I love that movie.
Was it equally as sad when all of his friends died?
Not as much the second time. You kind of, you know what's coming. You know what I mean? Like the movie is less sad.
I knew it was coming when I was watching the movie in theaters, and I was like, you
Yeah,
bastards.
but you didn't know really when it was coming and like when it was gonna happen. Now you knew when it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Still really good movie.
Speaking of death, do you think we're gonna lose any main characters in season 2?
Marvels.
Knowing the Disney, I'm gonna say one an episode. So give me
That's
everyone.
not a bad guess. It's not a bad guess. We'll probably lose variants of them.
Yes,
they died.
Right.
Nope, they're back.
Yep, variant. I don't know. Do
Yeah,
we think that this is going to be every single show that has come out has been worse than the last, right? Every single MCU show that's come out since Moon Knight has gone, like the ratings per Rotten Tomatoes or whatever has gone worse.
The critics possibly have done that.
For sure. Not our opinion, not Stan's opinion, but the critics. Yeah. Do we think that this show, because Loki, I believe, is the #1 rated show out of all MCU shows.
Yeah,
right.
That and WandaVision are like.
I think Loki's right above it, but yeah, those two. Do we think this gets rated with the critics? Do we think the critics are going to enjoy it, or are we all putting so much pressure on it because season 1 was so phenomenal and we have all these expectations of Kang still, and Loki is just awesome and Mobius is awesome? Is there so much expectations that this is going to flop? Like, where do we think it's going to be?
I don't think this is going to flop. I think this is going to go really well. They've had a long time to really film it and rework the storyline multiple times, which can be a good or bad thing. But in this case, I really think it's a good thing. It also is, it's so fundamental for setting up the multiverse because it's kind of where it started with the Loki season 1. But at the same time, it's so set aside. Like Secret Invasion had a lot of like, it was very grounded, but there were so many things. Like you had the whole Nick Fury and his past, and you got the Marvels mix, and you got the Skrulls. It had a hook to so many things. Loki doesn't have to hook to anything. Like nothing. The only thing it hooks to is season 1. Yeah. Like it doesn't hook with the rest of the MCU.
Whoa. Yeah. You don't think that Loki is setting up the entire
No, it is.
She's saying it's going to tie in.
But like like they don't have like all these other shows and comparisons to how structure the show. Loki is setting its own rules. That's what I mean. So like you're not gonna have you should have done this, you should have done. There are no rules here. We don't even know the territory we're in.
No comic that is based on
story.
Yeah. Like Secret Invasion, my main gripe is that they didn't let the director even read the comics. Like he didn't even go off the storyline at all. So it's just completely different story. But for Loki, I'm not expecting anything. There's no,
there's no
just give me some good story and I'll be happy.
They're gonna put in it.
Season 1 was great. I had no idea what to expect.
Season 2 is the same way. We don't know what to expect.
Which isn't that the best kind of Marvel? Because isn't that how expectations get put up so high as you find the best comic run of a certain character that a movie's coming out about and you expect nothing less than this best, and everyone has their own opinion of what the best comic run is of whatever character is coming out. But if there's nothing to reference, then you have no expectations other than I hope this show excites me. Not that I hope this show hits like this comic panel talked about this. I hope it says the same thing. I hope we get the same picture as this one comic panel. This. There's too much to like here with Loki. I think you're 100% right. Is like, just it's an open slate. Just impress us and make us excited. And we don't need Kang throughout the entire show because we didn't have Kang throughout the entire show last time, and it was still awesome. And when we did get him, it was amazing. That's why it was the best last episode of any MCU show that we've ever had before. Let's just get that. Let's just get one episode that's full of Kang, and that's all we need. And it can be the last episode. And it can lead us building as long as that one episode worth of Kang is as good as he was with, or as He Who Remains in the end of season 1, because it was the best acting at that point. That was like, and then they're like, we're going to base all of Marvel around this dude because of this one episode worth of acting. And I think every MCU fan was like, yeah, all right, that sounds great, because it was fantastic. Yeah, I'm in.
You got me. There
You
we go.
got right. Sign me up. So as long as we get that, that's all I care for. And then I'm just an open book. I'm an open book, but I do want an episode full of Nick Timely because that would be awesome. That's what we need.
It's great because Loki is an open slate, like you said, but they're also being able to take because Kang is all over in the comics, and it's like, how do you pull this character and use it? You take an open slate idea. I think they're kind of gonna work in elements of stuff that might have happened to Loki in unique ways during the show, just in not your traditional way of pulling it from the comics, but they're able to take parts of Kang and fit it into an open slate show that makes sense. And that's great. You didn't have to have like a story arc and stuff with King, but you're able to take elements that you want and you like into this open slate. It's fantastic. It's unique, and there's no rules. There's no rules that we're expecting to happen. I don't think it's gonna flop.
My only hope is that the Quantum Mania ending where he gets sucked into the little time machine thing. I hope that distributed him out through time or displaced him in time, and maybe that's why we have Victor Timely at this time. I think it'd be a really cool way to just tie back in and make Quantum Mania make a little more sense for that ending.
Speaking of that, the scene in the trailer when they both they flash to like an old time and they're both eating like popcorn out of a thing, and that's the same time frame as that clip at the end of the Quantumania. It's like that same time frame. But I also noticed in the post-credit scene when we first saw Victor Timely, the scene was a little bit longer here in the trailer. It looks like he has like the machine or something he's showing. Do you guys think he was building like a super prototype of like the quantum tunnel? You think that's what he was going for?
I don't know if it's the quantum tunnel, but he's for sure trying to
but something
build
like
some kind of a time manipulator.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
Seems like that'll be his 100%. Go-to every time we see him. Almost is that he'll always be trying to build this, whether it's in way back in
if
old
he's
age
a
or anything.
Time traveler, it makes sense because in Endgame they kind of talked about it. The idea of like Scott said it, if you could enter at one time and come out at another time, like that's a great way to have King be a time jumper to be able to do that.
But it's like the only way to trap him temporarily is to leave him without his
make him go into the quantum realm, but
send him
he
back
doesn't have
into
a
the
way
1800s. There's not quite enough technology, but he's trying his best to get something to jump.
He'll develop it eventually. It's just gonna take like 200 years.
Even before that, like we saw I believe we saw the Rama Tut head. Like he knocks the thing in all gold.
Was that Rama Tut?
I think that's Rama Tut.
That's a much better guess than mine. I was thinking that was the room where they killed off what were they? In the first season, the timekeepers. I thought it was that room.
I think
it didn't look anything like that room, though.
I think they're back
the
in
robot
time.
Head did.
The robot head did, but it was like gold and shiny. The timekeeper's room was like dark and scary.
Yeah, that's why I said Nick's guess was much better than mine. I'm like, that did look a lot more Egyptian. Yeah.
But they only showed his face. They didn't show like the Rama Tut like headband or a headpiece or anything. They just showed his face, and so you don't know. But
A Kang. Yeah.
A Kang for sure. A Kang. Yeah. I just see this Rama Tut, and they're back in the way back. But that to cycle that back around what we were talking about, even then you can like displace him there without any way to get out, and he'll still be doing anything and everything he can to try to get. I have a fruit fly right here. Out, get out.
Rubbing rocks together.
Whatever. He ain't doing it, but he's making someone there. Do it. Yeah. Throw some sand on it. I don't know.
Little water from the Nile. Yeah.
A couple of fun things. Did you guys notice? One of the first scenes that shows Sylvie, she's wearing like a McDonald's uniform, so she's working at McDonald's.
I noticed her haircut. That's what I noticed.
Are we getting multiple Sylvies? Because they've got her carrying like a record at some point, and it starts dissolving.
We see a shadow of two Lokis. Do you just see the shadow with the horns? I bet those could be two Sylvies, not a Loki and a Sylvie, not two Lokis. Even though we see three Lokis at the end. That could be two Sylvies because I believe we saw hair in that shadow as well.
I was thinking that was just Loki projecting.
I think we see hair in that shadow, and
Loki's got hair. Or Loki's got long hair.
I think it's longer hair than that though, and that's why she's got like longer hair. I don't know. Could be wrong. I'm just saying. Maybe. I think you could be right. We could have 2 Sylvies with a weird
What do
hair.
you guys think at the end of season 1? They left off. What was her name? She was kind of like the one in charge at the TVA, Ravana.
Ravana Renslayer.
Yeah, Ravana Renslayer.
She appeared 3 times in the trailer, all in different time frames, it looked like, and in different outfits. One of them, I think it was her last appearance in the trailer. It almost looked like she was in the void, looking at like the purple
Saw
or
that.
green monster.
Maybe she's going to tame Eliath. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm
Goliath.
wrong. Isn't she the in wherever she's like Kang's love interest, right?
I think
Yeah.
her character's inspired by the comic character that was.
Right. In the comics, she's the love interest.
In the
So
comic.
far in Loki, we
Right.
haven't seen that.
Right.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
But
Right.
in the
More than
comic,
likely, it's still going to tie in that way. Or
I have a feeling
Kang cares about her for
Right.
some reason. Yeah.
She
and I do
appeared
believe she's in it.
in the void, and then she was like in old time clothes, and then she was like looking like she's been through like World War II, and like she had like this blaster in her hand.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to her character
Yes.
a lot.
Very
But last time
We
we
also-
saw her was going in search of free will. That's what she said.
Right.
Mobius is like, "Where are you going? Going in search of free will."
Right.
Which,
We
whatever the
also
hell
s-
that means, we're gonna find out. in
Free
season 2,
will.
hopefully.
Nobody
will?
can find free will. Isn't that what Loki says? Like, I'm about to free you guys from the biggest lie, freedom, or something like that. He says that in the first Avengers movie.
Well,
We
in the
also
first
saw
episode, yeah.
B12, Agent B12. Is that what she was called in
Mhm.
the first one?
Oh, I
We
don't
saw
know.
her twice.
Yes. Mhm.
Was it B12?
I keep wanting to say B52. B12 is a vitamin that gives you energy, but it very much could be B12.
I think it's B12. If I'm wrong, somebody needs to hit us up on our socials and let us
Right.
know.
B12 and
Nicely.
vitamin
Be
C
nice.
and melatonin,
Melatonin gives you some crazy dreams.
but it resets your sleep cycle.
It sure does. It gets you ready to
Might
go.
be important after.
Casey,
time
what you know about melatonin over there?
I don't take it.
Don't
I don't
take
need it.
it's
Don't
just
need
like
it.
Your
it's
body
like a
produces it
sleep.
naturally. You get
yeah.
enough sun during the day.
Just
your
a
body-
vitamin type of thing. Help
Yeah.
you sleep at night.
Oh, I know what it
Melanin
is. I
breaks
just
it down
don't
into
take it.
melatonin.
I don't take it either. I don't. I do it when I can't sleep that often. Or
If
like
I can't sleep, I would probably take a Benadryl. Not that we're
Mm.
giving advice
You're
here to anybody
crazy.
That's
listening.
worse. That's
Stop
so
trying to
much
tell people to
worse.
take drugs, Casey. Come on.
That's so
I wouldn't do
much
it
worse.
regularly. Like I said, we are
Rated
not giving
go.
advice. Do not follow
Anyways,
any of that.
Melatonin's great after a bender.
She's
all
like-
weekend.
Cheers to that, brother, man.
One last person I wanted to point out from the trailer is we saw Casey.
You,
Tell me. Yeah.
He's gonna turn me into a fish.
dude.
Yeah.
Is that what
What's
he
a
said?
fish?
Oh, I
What's
could
a
see him
fish?
saying that line from the trailer, that from the scene he was in. So when you said that, I was thinking, did he actually say anything?
It says it in season 1. Yeah.
He does say it in season 1.
Yeah.
Other than
We're-
that, I don't
Right,
remember seeing
interrupted you.
anybody we've seen before, just offhand. Maybe beside Mobius and stuff. Which Mobius was great.
We
Yeah.
didn't see
Looking over my notes.
the one Sylvie kind of charms into being her friend, where they're like drinking at the bar. She wasn't
That's
in season 2, right?
no
Or is that Hunter B12 that you're trying to say? Is B12?
Hunter B12. Yeah,
It's like the bigger, stronger woman, right?
that's Hunter
That was
B12.
kind of a badass. Yeah.
Mm.
Still don't think it's B12, but yeah, that one.
Hunter with
So
the
who
vitamins.
was the younger one then? In like episode 3,
She died.
she did die. I died. She got pruned, right?
I think she died.
Died. All right.
She died, man. I'm sorry.
Well, you're in season 2.
Okay, guys. Well, that's gonna wrap up our initial reaction for the trailer for season 2. Like I said, I'm hoping to dive deeper into it as the show gets closer. Like I said up top, we got a new YouTube channel. Please go check it out. We've been live on Twitter, hoping to get live on YouTube. So please go subscribe and keep following us. Hoping to check into the Marvel trailer that just dropped as well, coming soon. So see you guys next week.
Woo woo! I can't believe this music never works when I try to play it. Dang it.
We're rookie techs, guys. We're gonna get this.
We'll figure